Manchester United threw away a 2-0 lead against Porto on Thursday night, and we should have seen it coming. Thursday night saw Erik Ten Hag's woes continue as he watched his side drop a 2-0 lead, with Porto coming back to lead 3-2. It looked like another defeat was on the cards until Harry Maguire salvaged a point for Manchester United by scoring in injury time to make it a 3-3 draw. However, the draw feels like a loss, having been in such a commanding position in the first half thanks to goals from both Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Hojlund. Manchester United's 3-3 draw against Porto might feel like a small victory on paper, but it's clear that this performance highlights deeper, long-standing issues. The club threw away a commanding 2-0 lead, and fans should have expected it, given the recent pattern. Here's a closer look at what went wrong and what lies ahead. Throwing away points in Europe is almost tradition at this point under Ten Hag, but the magnitude of the problem is damning. The 2024-25 Europa League campaign has continued for Manchester United as the 2023 Champions League campaign ended. United's record in Europe since the start of last season is awful. Taking the lead does not bode well for the side's chances of winning. United also threw away a 3-0 lead in the FA Cup semi-final last season against Coventry, only scraping through to the final by the graces of VAR and also a penalty shootout triumph. This record is atrocious and shows that there is a real problem in the way Ten Hag is setting up his team in Europe and other cup competitions. Due to the now unavoidable record mounting against United, it seems that taking a 2-0 lead almost made it inevitable that the Red Devils would throw it away, dooming Ten Hag. United imploded in just 7 minutes at the Estadio do Dragão, and this is another concerning record mounting up against Ten Hag. Ten Hag's United have not only been throwing away possible victories, but it is also concerning how quickly collapses in Europe have been happening. United's collapse from 2-0 up to 3-2 down in just 7 minutes was a familiar sight. It's not the first time this has happened. United have been consistently throwing away leads in Europe and cup competitions. For example, last season, United conceded 2 in 4 minutes versus Bayern Munich away, 2 in 10 minutes versus Galatasaray at Old Trafford, 2 in 4 minutes versus Copenhagen away, and 2 in 9 minutes versus Galatasaray away. This shockingly poor record continued against Porto, this alone being atrocious, and no doubt will leave Ten Hag facing questions ahead of Judgment Day against Aston Villa. The problem here isn't just bad luck, it's a systemic issue under Erik Ten Hag. His team seems unable to maintain control, especially under pressure. When they take a lead, instead of building on it, they fall apart. It's becoming predictable. And that's damning for a team that should be competing at the highest level. Ten Hag's tactics came under fire again. The defense looked disorganized, even though the same back four has been starting regularly. The midfield lacked composure, particularly with the absence of Kobbie Mainoo's control. United, despite their talent, just don't seem to know how to close out games effectively. Questionable substitutions didn't help either. As the match slipped away, there seemed to be no clear plan to regain control. Ten Hag is clearly struggling to find answers, and this ongoing tactical confusion is hurting the team. Due to how symbolic this display was, we doubt the draw will do much in the way of convincing Ineos and showing he deserves the chance to continue leading this team. Let's get the negatives out the way first, shall we? There will be endless space to devote to the shortcomings of Erik Ten Hag's Manchester United. Right, now we have got that justified moaning out of the way, let's try and be positive for a moment, shall we? It was nice to see Manchester United score some goals, wasn't it? Manchester United had failed to score in the past 2 Premier League matches. United netted 3 times against Porto from 3 different scorers, and normally away from home, you would back this to be enough to secure a win. Perhaps the most significant boost was Rasmus Hojlund getting on the score sheet to net his first goal of the 2024-25 season. Hojlund showed last season that he is a confidence player, and this gives him a vital boost before facing an Aston Villa side which he broke his Premier League scoring duck against a year ago. The Dane looked sharp. There was one bursting run from the halfway line in the first half, and if United can supply him with chances, he can take advantage. He is in the mix to start this weekend. Erik Ten Hag's Manchester United might not be very good, but the players have not given up on their beleaguered manager. One player who absolutely defined this was centre-back Harry Maguire, who came off the bench to pop up with an injury-time equaliser. Last week's draw felt disappointing, and it was. This one, United can come out with a positive after fighting back from defeat to salvage a point. If you are looking for a crumb of comfort, avoiding defeat can give the team a little belief heading into the game away at Aston Villa the weekend. Andre Onana has been Manchester United's most consistent player this season, and it's usually not a great sign when the goalkeeper is the star. Nonetheless, Onana kept Manchester United at key moments, preventing Porto from taking a 4-2 lead. Onana made 5 saves in total and can hold his head high despite conceding 3 goals. He can expect another busy day away at Villa this coming weekend. Onana has been a consistent performer, but when your goalkeeper is the best player week in, week out, it's often a sign of deeper problems. The defense shouldn't be relying on him to bail them out so often. The real concern is that the underlying issues remain. United's inability to hold onto leads and their frequent defensive collapses are symptoms of deeper problems. One victory in the last 10 European matches is a dismal record. The team is lacking tactical discipline, and Ten Hag's setup seems to invite these collapses rather than prevent them. The team is in disarray, and the draw against Porto, despite the fight back, feels more like another warning sign for Ten Hag. The mounting pressure isn't going away, especially with a difficult fixture against Aston Villa up next. What happens next will be crucial for Erik Ten Hag. His team has shown flashes of brilliance, but they've been overshadowed by a failure to close out games. Ineos and the club's leadership will have tough decisions to make if the results don't improve soon. In conclusion, the Porto draw felt like another missed opportunity for Manchester United. If you're passionate about the future of this club, it's time to raise your voice to demand the changes necessary to restore Manchester United to its former glory. Let's not settle for mediocrity.